Am I live? Am I alive? I think I'm alive. Welcome to a JLJ this morning. I realized I've done one all week. I'm crying about it. No. I am my eyes are watering a little bit because of the pollens and stuff going on in the world out there. Everything's blooming for me right now. So it's kind of crazy. But good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. My mother's last name is McCullough because she's married to someone of Irish descent. And apparently I have Irish in me, apparently. My mug, I'm wearing my green. I have a really busy day today. I'm looking at my day. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things going on. God. I just want to lay down. But hello, everybody. Oh, I left this open. Shit. Oh, still works. I have a dry erase marker. It's my favorites. I'm trying to wake up. I had weird sleep. I had some nightmares. My planes fall out of the sky. I kind of tossed and turned a little bit. I don't know what's going on. I was sore from working yesterday in my mother's garage, but I don't know why. I don't know why I'm just like, I'm like, oh, a moment. I'll get up, but we're here. It has been exactly 2 years ago today. My life changed forever, and many others. Some people it was March 14th, some people it was March 20th. For me, it was March 17th, 2020. The world stopped for me. The studios are shut down. And so the place that I was going to at BuzzFeed shut down. All the studios after party I was going to shut down, everything shut down. And organizing. They decided to do a lockdown in Los Angeles. And I think back to that time going, wow, like we literally went through a lockdown. Like it was scary. And I'm looking back on it now, it's like where, now I'm just, you live in it, you're so used to it. But I remember when anything happens to me, it's scary at first, right? It was scary. And I remember I stopped everything here in LA. And it was just like, I don't do. I remember sitting here at this desk in my room, going, okay, well, are you okay? I mean, literally, it was like what I didn't. I was like, okay, I had all this setup. So to me now seems so normal, but I was just like, okay, well, I guess I have these soap shows to do on Sunday. I remember thinking, and then I only had a couple of shows at the time. I didn't have a network. There was no network. There's no JLJ Media Network. I just had a channel with some stuff on it. And I was like, I was doing it between the pages, and of course the SOS show. I was like, okay, well, I'm sure you out there are thinking the same thing. And I was supposed to go set out because I was supposed to the week before head out to see my granddaughter for her birthday, and they canceled everything to clean the buses or whatever, doing all this stuff to clean everything. And so now we were going to be on lockdown. And I remember they were saying probably a few weeks. So I remember taking my ticket and changing for the end of the month, end of March, for like basically next week. I said, I'll see you at the end of the month. We work it out. Had no idea how serious this was, but it was kind of scary. People were starting to get COVID. It was kind of scary. Didn't know much. But I mean, who knew that this was going to turn into this 2 years later? But I just remember that day going, everything shut down. And I was like, okay. And I remember my doctor telling me, James, you don't want COVID. Like, you don't want it. If you get it, you'll die. That's what you told me back then. If you get it, you'll die. With your immune system that you have compromised, you'll die. So I took it seriously. And I began was 60, how many days was it? 69 days, 70 days, where I stopped seeing everybody. I didn't leave my house. Starting today, 2 years ago, I did not leave my house. I didn't leave my house. I knew I was going to do like Instacart for shopping. I said, I won't go shopping anymore. Stop that. I called all my coaching clients and canceled all their, and they were canceling too. We were all canceling. It's like, sorry, until further notice, we'll see what happens. I said, well, I guess I could do the soap shows, do Zoom, because we started playing with Zoom a little bit. Anyway, so I had no plan. I really had no plan. I was like, this will probably end in a few weeks. We'll be fine. So I just thought, okay, I was going to the garden and do stuff in the garden and like, whatever. And we were all talking, but we were like, okay, they say it's highly contagious. You die from it. My brother got sent home. They immediately sent everybody home until further notice. So that was him. So we both were at home. Everybody's at home, and we just got sat there and waited. I remember that. I just remember just going, okay, we're just going to wait and see what the fuck's going to happen. It's a huge mug. This coffee is working in the morning. Working. And I had no idea the next 2 years of my life would be this way. And I'm sure you guys felt the same way, had no idea. It has been an emotional roller coaster ride. It has been a financial roller coaster ride. It has been a weight roller coaster ride. Whew. But I remember back then just thinking it's scary. It was really scary. And the preceding weeks after this, it got scarier. Because here in LA, you guys are, everybody's everywhere else. Here in LA, it was bad. And a couple people in my family got it, and one of my cousins-in-law, he died. He was healthy. No underlying issues, died. So it started getting really bad here. I had a client who's a doctor. He started filling up the hospitals, just filling up. And she's like, it's all COVID patients. And they were coming faster than they could get there. I mean, so in LA, it got really bad. And then, like I said, studios were shut down until further notice. And then I remember in a few weeks ago, they announced that they're going to run out of soaps. If they don't go back to work, they're going to actually run out of soap operas. We're like, they're going to run out of soap operas. Like, that was the weirdest thing. Like, they're going to run out of soap opera, except for Days of Our Lives. That was the only one that had enough. And we always joke because they always film like 6 months in advance. But the other soaps still film like 4 or 5 or 6 weeks in advance. But they were saying if they go to a certain point, they're actually going to run out. And they did. Last year, 2 years ago, we had no new soaps except for Days for a while. Isn't that crazy? It was every week was a different theme on Young and Restless, and some were doing this and they're compilations, and I mean, there were no new soaps. I remember we didn't do shows. I didn't decide I didn't want to cover the shows that were the past ones. So some of my shows I just didn't do one. I did a lot of I focused basically on interviews. And I remember it was like next week. This is shut down this week. Next week, I said, okay, everybody's at home. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to go crazy. I'm not going to see anybody doing anything. I'm going crazy. And so I decided, I had this plan. I had these whiteboards, and I had schedules and everything. I said, okay, I was going to focus on doing interviews. I'll keep busy. And some of my other friends, we all started going, okay, we're going to do interviews, lives. I started doing Instagram Live, my Talk a Lot with James Lott Jr. That was Tony's idea. At night, I said, okay, that's when people start feeling really weird at night. That's the time people really feel anxiety. And I said, okay, I'm going to do a show at night. And every night for almost a year, I was online in my bed on Instagram. And we had a great, at 10 o'clock, and we had a great group. People would come in and out. I met people during that time period. We were like a family, and I just talked for like an hour and a half. but whatever, okay, I guess we'll come through. Famous celebrities would come through. And some of those are on this channel. You can watch some of them. I couldn't save all of them. I tried, but I saved a lot of them. I did over 100 some episodes. So they're here and they're talking a lot with James Lott Jr. for the theme song and the whole thing. It was a lot of fun. It was like I kind of miss it a little bit. I do. But it helped me get through that time. Just like everybody else, it helps me also. Yeah, Vegas, it all closed down. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was so, everything just shut down. It just shut down. It was like the weirdest thing on earth. It was like, my friend in San Francisco, like everything shut down in San Francisco. Essentially, it was a tourist town. There was no tourism. I used to live in San Francisco, and it was like no tourism. They said Union Square was dead. Fisherman's Wharf was dead. It was the craziest time period, right? And so, but I remember, so I was like, okay, well, I was going to do interviews. I have these shows, I'll just do interviews. And then I made the decision to start my own network, JLJ Media. So I'm going to turn it into a network. I literally had like 300 subscribers. I didn't do much on YouTube. I was like, yeah, I have it, whatever. And on Spreaker, I had like, online, I had like 2 shows. I said, I'm going to do this. And I actually officially quit AfterBuzz. They're doing some stuff online. I think a couple of shows, but I said, I'm going to be done. I'm just going to do this full time. And literally, I did this, and I'm life coaching. Like, I couldn't organize. The organizing world was like, what are we going to do? We go to people's homes. The chance not to go to people's homes. Everybody was freaking out. I had lots of meetings. Everybody was freaking out. We got to change protocols, and they need certain masks, and they need gloves, and are you essential? And in LA, it became this thing about essential or not. If you weren't essential, you can't work. Essentially, you had the papers to leave your house. They stopped the bus system up there. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I was like, no transportation for me. I'm not taking no buses. I want nothing to have to touch. Like, it's dirty already as it is. I'm not touching anything. It was the craziest time. It was crazy. I started my network. I started doing about 5 interviews a day. Everybody was available. Everyone was available. Everyone was sitting at home. So I started doing like 5. I was doing like 30 interviews a week. Isn't that crazy? I just go one after the other, just post it all the time. And I started really creating this whole thing. And I said, okay, well, wrap up the books. I started writing books. I went to high gear. I got some books. I sell some music. Let's get the music going. Put out a couple albums that year. And I remember thinking, I was like, and that was the hardest one. The shows, the books are one thing, but I was like, the music. Do people really, the music. Well, people don't listen to music, do they care? And I was like, oh, hi, Alpha, you're joining me this morning. Wow, from my own home state of Pennsylvania. But yeah, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. It was completely like, and my friend was like, put out music, put out whatever you want. So everything went to high gear. It's all I did 2020. I didn't see nobody. So for almost the first 3 months, I didn't see anybody in person. That's when I said, okay, I got to venture. I was going crazy. I had to venture out a little bit. I ventured out with a mask, and it was like rebirth, renewal. But these first months, I'm telling you, it was crazy talk. How are you, St. Patrick's Day, everybody? I should make this Irish coffee. I should make this. I just will never. I wish I documented more of that time, but again, we didn't know how long it was going to last. But in LA, there was a lot of restaurants were closed. So I used to order food, and it was just like nowhere to order. There was nowhere to order. Yes, my uncle Ronald lives in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I know that. Mm-hmm. I have family in Media, Pennsylvania. I was from Pittsburgh, of course, the other side. Thank you. I know you love my music. I know you and your mom. Thank you. No, but it was we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was going to happen. It was like, but in LA, it was very strict. And I remember I was telling my friends who live elsewhere, I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's like, it's crazy talk out here. So we immediately got all these cute little masks. But I didn't leave my premises for a long time. I didn't leave the perimeter of my house. I was in my yard, but I did one video where I was going crazy. I said, I'm going crazy. I remember doing a video. It's on here somewhere. That I was going crazy. But I wish I had documented more of that time period. But now I started documenting in 2021, and this year we're doing a lot more. But this is a time period I will never forget it. But back then it felt like it was me forever. Because in LA, we were locked down for 3 months. Other cities started to open up a little bit, but we were locked down. We were locked down. I remember I had a birthday. My birthday's in less than a month and a half. And my birthday, well, it was one of the worst birthdays I ever had. Just in terms of, I was glad to be alive and all that. Oh, dang. But I know this mug is so funny. It's huge. It's big as my head. But I really, really was hermetic in this house, just not like me at all. But I can and doing all these interviews and doing I got some life coaching clients that kind of helped me get through those months. It was crazy. It was crazy. And LA it was so quiet here. The air was clean. There's no. I remember when I finally went out, we got in the car. There was no traffic. You understand? In life, if you're not from Los Angeles, you have no idea. Not really. You may have heard about it, but unless you are here, there was no traffic. You could literally get to across town in 20 minutes. It was the craziest thing. But yeah, my birthday, I was isolated. I had no family around me. I was by myself. Everything had to be done by Zoom or FaceTime, whatever, but it was not the same. I wanted to plan a big birthday because for my 50th, the year before, I sold my house in Pittsburgh and I was by myself. So I thought, okay, 51, I'll have a big party. And that didn't happen. So I was depressed. I was upset. I was bored. It was just the worst birthday. It was just not fun at all. I'm like, oh. So I was like, okay, hopefully next year will be different. Last year was slightly different, but whatever. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough for all of us who had birthdays until June. It was like most of us had birthdays between then and June. It was like tough. My mother, we did a drive-by birthday. So drive-by stuff started happening. Drive-by birthdays. So like, hello, Caroline. It was something else. I'm telling you, it was tough. So it was a rough couple of them. And I want to begin to tell you, this is a family show, a family morning show. There are other things that have not happened in 2 years of the personal nature that I hope happen this year sometime. Because I may be in my 50s, but I'm not dead in certain parts of my body. You just say that. I am hoping something happens sometime this year. Because James Lott Jr. Ready to go crazy on that side too. Because COVID, what's funny is I was on dating apps, and no one was. I mean, obviously the first year no one was meeting. I mean, everybody was talking. What's funny is that I talked to a lot of people on dating apps, and there was a lot of conversations because everybody was at home and had nothing else to do. But no one was meeting because we're like, okay, you could have COVID, so no one was meeting. So that first year, got it. 2021, as we started coming out of it a little bit and started getting the vaccinations early last year. This time last year, I got my first vaccination. I think it was in March. And see, I was trying to be incognito, and you decide to put it out there, of course. But yes, that's what I'm talking about. So far we're all adults on this thing. Yes, I'm trying to be diplomatic in the morning. But we're all talking, and that's kind of making whoopee. There you go. It's very newlywed game. I like that. But last year I thought, oh, now we're kind of coming out of it, and then Omicron happened, and that was even scarier because I mean, here in LA, woo, I don't know where you guys were. Everybody got it. Literally, my whole family, people who hadn't gotten it in 2 years, like got it. I'm one of the people who has not gotten COVID in my life. I still haven't gotten it. But I mean, my grandkids got it. My sister and them got it. Like, everybody got it around me. All my clients got it. And last year, I started working again. I was back out there doing organizing, and we were having a good time. And I was life coaching and organizing, and I was busy. I was making money and all that stuff. And then when Omicron hit, that was it, kids. So I'm like, God bless America. That's right, Ethel. You said you're not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. So now I'm like, well, what happens now? I think the cases are going down, I guess. I mean, I'm confused by the media. That's a whole other story. I'm confused by everything. I don't know what's going on. All I know is James Lott Jr. need to get some soon, hopefully, sometime this year. Because I'm like, this is not kosher, kids. Yeah. It's been 2 years, so we done. It's exactly 2 years now because it's been 2 years today. We ain't done. Yeah, we got to do something. This was gone, but then of course LA is just such a weird place to date anyway. That's a whole other story. A whole nother story. Places of debt. It's just too much. But all this is here for somebody. No. So that's that too. So it's been a very strange couple of years. It's been very strange, and but we all survived. All of us are still here, thank God. I have people who are not here, who didn't make it. I lost a lot of people last year. Oh my goodness, I lost so many good friends. Oh, Carol Ann, I don't blame you. I know we're not done. No, people they're trying to lift in masks now. We're not done. And there are folks who think COVID-19 is a hoax. I think it's just a flu. All these different things. I'm just like, I let people think whatever you want. I mean, I got tired of fighting. But see, during this time period, we also had the whole civil unrest, the Black Lives Matter, and now we're having the Asian hate thing happen. And it's true about somebody right now. An actor, Karen Fukuhara, was attacked in a hate crime. She's from The Boys. It's like so now we have racial civil unrest happening. We had the election during that time period too that happened. There's a lot of things happening in the last couple of years, kids. A lot of things. Oh, thank you, Sean Kane's event. Thank you. I get to do that. That was a light of my life. It has been a lot of stuff. One of the things I did learn for myself is that we are resilient people. We're resilient. We're adaptable. I'm adaptable. Anyway, I'm fortunate. I live in a nice big house with a nice big yard. I don't have small children. I don't live with family. I live with my brother, and that's it. I'm very fortunate. A lot of people during this time period had a whole host of things. Nikki's in Canada. Hi, Nikki. Good morning. You're in Canada. We just go back to green restrictions. We've been lifted, no longer required to wear a mask. The person still wear a mask. That's the thing. So I think now on people are gonna start just doing whatever they want. I think some folks are currently wearing masks. Some won't. I saw that in LA. Some folks are wearing masks. Some aren't. Tomorrow I'm gonna run around town, run some errands or whatever. I'm gonna wear a mask on all public transportation. I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm gonna wear a mask on there. I'm gonna wear a mask at certain places too. I don't care. I'm just going to because I'm just not sure. So I agree with you, Ethel. I agree with you, Nikki. I mean, I'm just going to say, I want to see how this plays out. Again, there has been mixed messaging, and that's for those of us who are, I guess I'm not conservative. I'm not fully a liberal. I'm somewhere in the middle, which a lot of us are. But so for me, I'm saying there's been some mixed messages to me out there of like what's safe, what's not safe. I'm not going to a GH convention. Those folks over there, those folks who run the convention, I'm not a fan of theirs. And I tried to work with them in the past, and they don't give a shit about me. So, and I've done a show for 7 years. That's one of the major shows for GH after shows. I've had all their stars on it over the years. Frank Valentini knows who I am. But they're not running it. It's this con that's running it. That I'm like, so I'm like, nah, you know, and I'm not paying money to go to this thing. They can kiss my grits. So good luck to them. Sean Kanan is the best. See, now here's something the best. Sean Kanan is the best. We're friends. He had me host this event. Stars came to that, so you could have saw them. So if you were in LA, you could have saw them for free. Stars from your favorite shows came. Sheila was there. I would say Sheila. Kimberly Brown played Sheila. Krista Allen. I mean, there's a bunch of people who were there. It was a great event. It was a beautiful day in Los. It's beautiful days in Los Angeles. Yesterday it was like 80 degrees, folks. In LA, 80 degrees. I gotta watch the time. I gotta watch the time. I'm on the phone with you guys. On here, I'm on the phone. I'm touching on the phone. I'm on the horn here. I'm on the coffee. You know, I just, you know, but yeah, I'm just kind of, I mean, I'm somewhere. I'm just like, I'm not, you know, I'm a Democrat by association, basically, because I'm a Republican. But I'm just like, but I'm somewhere, you know. A lot of us are in the middle. A lot of us are in the middle. Who just want good lives. I want to be told the truth. Give me a good lie. Just give me something that I can work with. You know, and I think this whole time it's been botched on all sides. So I'm like, I think it's something that's been botched on all sides. You know, but I'm not gonna fight with anybody. I'm just like, I'm not gonna fight with white people. I'm not gonna fight with people who don't believe in the mask. I'm tired. I know what I know. I feel what I feel, and I'm gonna just put that out there. That's what I do. You want to have free thought and free will. That's your business, but I don't have to fall in line with what you're thinking either. I don't have to go, well, they think that way. It must be true. No, you do your thing. I'm gonna do mine, and you know, and that's what I'm gonna do. And we'll see how it plays out. And a lot of folks who agree other things are finding out that they're not kind of right. I would say the truth always comes out, right? The truth always will out. So on any side, the truth always comes to the top at some point. That's what I like to believe. You know, kiss my grits. I always say, kiss my grits. That's what I always say all the time. Yes, I was an Alice Flo fan, but I'm trying not to cuss as much anymore. So that's why I have my little sayings: cheese and crackers, kiss my grits, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's what I do. But no, I just think you know, it's hard to get in Hollywood. It's hard to get respect in Hollywood. There's a million people doing everything. There are a million folks up there who are doing stuff. And if you get any kind of success in Hollywood, I think it should be celebrated, no matter how big or small it is. You know, any kind of success, just any. I mean, I feel like I've done some good. I've been in business 15 years. I've had some success. And some people just don't see value in it. They just don't. And they equate value sometimes with numbers, with now, you know, I got some numbers on some things too, but with numbers, looks, gender, all kind of stuff, sexual orientation. They have certain rules, and even with some of those things, either you know, for Black, I'm not Black enough, or I don't fit into the Black narrative. You know, gay, I don't feel gay enough. Tall enough. There's always something. There's always something. So I have my lane. I stick to my lane. I stay where I'm at. I go just straight forward. I'm creating the world I want to see, little by little. And every once in a while, someone from the outside sees it, and I get some props. So I mean, it does work. I mean, I've been in business forever, and I at this point, I don't do what I want to do. I'm in charge. Somebody said something the other day, and I was like, well, you know what's so beautiful is that it's my company. Do whatever I want. I don't have to take your advice. I don't have to take it. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to cater to you. I don't have to do anything. I can do whatever I want. That's my point. That sounds great. And that's your idea. Good for you. Start your own company. I was like, I can do whatever I want. You think that's great. Good job. Thank you. I'm glad you think that. But no, I can do whatever I want. The healthcare provider, yes, you go through it all. Yes, I know you go through it. I used to be a nurse. I understand. So you go through a lot this last couple of years. You've been through a lot. God bless you. You've been through a lot. You're doing God's work, so I understand that. Now, it's funny, we all have a part of this, right? So you're in the front lines doing that. We're over here in entertainment. I'd say don't slouch entertainment. we're here to help you get through this time period too. It may seem frivolous to talk about soap operas or Star Wars or Hallmark Channel, but for an hour or so, you get to live some semblance of normal life. You get a chance to get your mind off of. Because remember, for a while, the news was always bad. They're just bad. There's news now we're like heading towards World War III. It's bad. The news is not great. I don't watch the news. It's not fun to watch it. So we need escape. And so all of us here in the entertainment business, when it was shut down for a while, we couldn't create anything new. That was, I mean, I felt that one. Like, if you can't create art, what are you gonna do? We can't anything new. What are we gonna do? So a lot of folks start going back to the old school stuff, and it taught us this pandemic taught us that we are resilient. I said earlier, we can adapt, we can change. You know, you can move around and find a way. I mean, I always say I'm a regular person. I am almost 53 years old, grandfather of four, lives in Inglewood, California. And I have an online network. I have awards. I was the first guest on Jimmy Kimmel Live. I've been on television. I mean, I have a lot of great things that have happened to me just because I just forged forward and just tried something. And I think that's the best way to look at it. Is that we're all just here trying to make our way. That's the point, you know. I mean, it's very a cuss jar. I know, really. I tried that once, and I was like poor the first day. I kept just cussing. I kept putting I had no money in my wallet. It was all going to the cuss jar. But I feel like all of us are doing our parts. You know, if you're a musician or an artist or a spoken word artist or an actor or us hosts, we're all working together to create a world so it's not so dark. What's America? Out of the pandemic, I created a soap opera. We created soap opera. We created audio soap operas. We did something forever and a day. We did something that no one else was really doing. And now I have 15 online dramas and more coming, and they're all pretty successful. People are listening more than they're watching now. They're starting to listen to things. They're listening on their headphones. They're listening in the car. It's like, you know. And I look back at my career. I'm like, I have some great milestones. That I've had some extraordinary situations that I wouldn't have had. I was looking at everybody I've interviewed, and I've interviewed a lot of great people. On Young and the Restless, I've interviewed almost all the top. No, actually, I've interviewed all the top stars on Young and the Restless. I interviewed everybody. I've interviewed all of them, from Nikki to Victor to now Peter Bergman. I've done oh my god, like Ashley. I've done all the top ones. My girl Michelle Stafford, everything. So Jimmy Kimmel, yes, okay. So it's from the May 12th episode of 2021. It's on there somewhere on there. It's on their page on YouTube. It's you can see the opening monologue with me in it. But I believe Hulu, wherever ABC.com or whatever, just go to Jimmy Kimmel Live. Go to last year. I have it on my TV still. I'm trying to find a way to get it up. Yes, if you didn't notice, I made history as the first guest in 14 months in the studio. So I think every once in a while like this happens, you're like, wow, okay. My life, and it gave me my life was changed. It gave me a big boost. And I became part of the Jimmy Kimmel Live family. Jimmy was very nice to me, very, very nice. We're around the same age. But it's out there, yes. And if you go on my TikToks or whatever, I have snippets of the show on there. I just posted today in my story, watching myself, ABC Channel 7 in LA was doing a preview, and there I was. So I had a little clip. But yes, May 12th. My birthday was May 10th, and they contacted me on my birthday and said, do you want to make television history? And I was like, doing what? They told me, and I was like, sure. I had no idea what was going on. I really had no idea. I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I showed up, and they treated me like a king. I mean, they were so nice to me. They gave me a gift basket of goodies. I was at my own dressing room, and everything. So it was just wonderful. You and Frank have become part of my routine every Monday morning. I see you and I myself, right, saying yes, Jay, yes, Frank. Frank, I just did an episode. Of the Boba Fett after show with Frank. I love Frank. I've known Frank 7 years. I hired him 7 years ago to do GH Report at AfterBuzz, and he's followed me to JLJ Media, and I love Frank very much. I always say he's my work husband, but we laugh and we talk, and he makes me laugh. Oh my god! And on General Hospital, he's so shady. He's so shady, and folks love him. They love him because he's so shady. He just oh my god, he's so funny. But his points are valid. All his points are valid. I'm like, what he's saying is not like I'm not valid. We do. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. We do have chemistry. We do. And I'm trying to tell you, I've had many co-hosts. I've co-hosted shows with many people, and I didn't have chemistry with all of them. So it's funny when you have chemistry, you want to keep it. And Frank and I do have chemistry. We do, and we talk always afterwards, and we laugh, and yeah, no, I love Frank. Frank is my buddy, and we're gonna do as long as we can. We're gonna do as long as he said he'll do as long as I'm doing it. He's like sure. So yeah, he's the best. So I'm glad it's my number one show on my network. GH Media Spotlight is my number one show on my network. Number one. And for the last couple of years, you guys are just, I mean, the audio and video versions are doing so. And then, well, Y&R that's no sleeper. The Y&R and B&B Spotlights do well too. But I'm telling you, Y&R is the next one. Does very well for me. Young Restless fans, and that was the one I got to the least. I was a huge Bold and GH person. I love Y&R, but I only started to recently decide to kind of do a Y&R spotlight. That was just recently, like last year. I wasn't doing it. I was just doing interviews. So I do watch the show. I was like, maybe I'll do one too. And I'm glad you find that. I'm glad you said that. Our job is we're like two friends hanging out, and you're hanging out with us. So I'm glad you feel that way. We're just like we're talking about a show, but you like. We talk about it in plain language. And I'm glad you guys are getting because I want people. I'm always trying to explain to people. We are not just a recap show. We don't just tell you what happened. That's boring. You already know what happened. You watch the show, and if you didn't watch the show, you can read about it somewhere, like what they said. If we just said on Monday this happened, on Tuesday that's it. The show will be over in 15 minutes. We are opinion television. We talk about what happened and how we feel about it. That's what we do. We don't just give you a recap. We tell you our feelings. Our feelings are just feelings. They're just opinions like anything else. They're just opinions. They're just opinions. I tell also you have to like my opinion. I don't like yours. I mean, it doesn't matter. We have opinions. And that's the point, is that you're supposed to tell us your opinion too. That's why we love having chats. The live chats have been great. Thanks to AfterBuzz TV, the live chats are great. Well, thank you, Tammy and Amanda. It's funny because they're newer to this on the Y&R side. I feel like our Bold show is just like, it's crazy talk. We have the best time. We're going off the rails. I love doing that show. That show is just like crazy. But on Y&R, yeah, we are building something on Y&R. I agree with you, Caroline. We are. We're trying. Yes, Ethel, you're right. We are. Frank and I are different. We're not the same. We're not the same. We're very different. We go back and forth. I will say, and I know she was controversial for some people. I miss my Lucretia Lyon. I love Lucretia. I don't care what anybody says. I love Lucretia. And many of you guys do love her, and some don't. But she was our female perspective that I do miss. And right now she's kind of, again, we've all been through a lot. Like Latasha just said, we've all been through a lot. She's getting her family and her getting settled back in Los Angeles to try and get some stuff together. I told her she's always welcome to come on the show anytime. Same with Carla Renata. I said, totally welcome to come on. So maybe they'll come on sometime soon. But with Tammy and Amanda, we're having the three of us. Our friendship is growing. We're having a good time, and so we're trying to really, and you like Tammy and days. Oh, I know. Sam's annoying, I guess. But yeah, Tammy is, and she's trying to get settled too. Her and her man just moved to a new place. They're trying to get settled. It's like life is changing, and I know people are getting mad at us because we're not doing the Win Cost the Heart after show, a full after show. But again, Marissa and I have different lives now than we did before. She has a whole different life now, and she loves the show. We're doing the interviews, so we're trying to work it out for people and say, okay, it's what we're doing. But it's not easy. It's just everybody had to change their lives, and I'm telling you, and I don't know where you guys live. In LA, it's expensive to live. It's expensive to live. So in LA, I tell you by number one, it's work first. Paid gigs first. They don't get paid to do this with me. This is all volunteer for fun. So for them, I want them to go and seriously, get their lives, do all that, because I know that's very important. So I'm very much like of that ilk of, yes, you go ahead, you take care of that and get the work together, because if they can't work, they can't really do this. That's the problem. So once they have money coming in, then they can start doing more of these shows. Like some of us, like Lucretia or Carla said, we're all in this business. We're all trying to make money in this business, so we're out there trying to take care of business. And it's a circle. But LA's expensive, and gas, kids. So I can say about that. I can start quoting you gas prices in LA, and you guys would just fall over. My niece just spent $90 for 14 gallons of gas, and her car was even full. That's what's crazy. So yes, my brother said he found a gas card that I gave him like 2 years ago from Chevron, $25. He got basically, what he said, 5 gallons. So 4 gallons of gas. That's it. I know, it's crazy. That's insane. That is insane. Yeah, here in LA it was $7.29 at one place, $6.29 several places. I've seen 6s, high 5s out here. Yeah, but we're hitting the 7 mark now. It's crazy. I see it. I'm like, what? Which of course is driving up all the airline prices. It's driving up all the train. Like anything has to do with gas. All prices are going up. It's not fair, kids. It's not fair at all. Nope. I know, $5 in Vegas. Yeah, it's getting there, folks. Yeah, $100 for the tank. Yep, that's what it is. It's just getting to the point. Like that's just high. It's highway robbery. That's how I feel about that. So, but thank you everybody for coming on. 12 people watching. Yay! They're watching. It's St. Patrick's Day. I have a big day today. I got lots to do. I want to keep talking to you guys, but I have to get off and take care of the business. There won't be. If I have a meeting at 1:30, if I get off the meeting early enough, I might be able to do a daytime today. I want to do one, but I don't know if I can or not. Look at my schedule. I miss my schedule. It's just like booked. So if this one meeting ends early, I can do a little daytime today. So we'll see. Interrupting my time. But anyway, I love you guys. St. Patrick's Day. Have a good time. If you're going to drink responsibly. Have an Irish car bomb for me. Those are so good. I wish I don't have any of the stuff with me to make one. But thank you so much, you guys.